When water is allowed to meander and flow for a distance through a natural ecosystem, complete with tree and grass-lined stream banks, aquatic plants, rocks, critters, and healthy sediments, the whole system works together and the water is cleansed.
Vortex in water energizes it and makes it powerful. And when there's an absence of vortexes in the water, it's what you can call lazy water. It doesn't have the force. And what a stream needs is to have the force to pick up your cobblestones on the bottom and move them along to keep the bottom of your stream carved out. And so we have in our counties a multiple problem of siltation, which is coming from here, right? And then you have the problem of the streams not being allowed to meander, which picks up velocity and creates vortexes. So the water in the streams is becoming lazy, and it cannot move the siltation out, and the siltation is sitting in the bottom of our streams. And it's choking out the streams for, I think most of us in this room understand the implications of that, right? It prevents recharge to the bottom of the streams, to our aquifers. It chokes out oxygen in the streams so that the creatures cannot live there any longer, and it creates a whole myriad of problems. But what's exciting about understanding why you need streams to do those patterns of behaviors and why you need grasses and riparian buffers and all of that, it has a lot to do with helping water to do what water can do. An unbelievable phenomenon. It's separating and moving into these little pods. It's always 7. Is that a number that comes up in the world in some interesting places, right? 7. There it is again. The ring is differentiating and separating into 7 areas, which in turn involute on each other and start spiraling in and falling down and breaking into 7 more and 7 more. And inside each one of these, what's happening is you're getting a ring vortex in each one of these. It's a pictorial representation of healthy water, because everybody asks what that represents. Those are vortices. This is very good quality spring water. This one can't do 14 motions. This can do maybe 8 motions, right, in the water. And then this one is very poor quality water. Who knows macroinvertebrate testing and what it reflects in terms of looking at the creatures that live in your streams and under the rocks and the profiles of creatures and the data and all. Orange County has very sophisticated stream data, as does Rockland County. They hire someone to come in and measure your streams and give you data profiles. Who lives in your streams and what combinations of creatures is a true indicator of what's going on in your waterways. And we're all encouraging that that data get used as much as possible going forward, because it's very significant. Just some aspect of the state of the water, the way that you could share with us in this circle. And then secondly, share something with us about your experience of collecting it.
Wounded Creek, here's the start of it. Wounded Creek is about 8 miles long. It starts basically up near Woodbury Common. There is a stream behind it.
The example was sunset and beautiful. And kind of marveling about the sandiness of it and thinking about a little bit the crystals in the sand and how water might react to crystals.
Or Lake Welch, which is, one of the bigger dammed lakes in Harriman Park. The biggest one is Lake Sebago, which is kind of in the southwest corner. And the Stony Brook is a tributary of the Ramapo. It's probably the biggest stream in Harriman State Park, and it runs southwest down and underneath Seven Lakes Drive and connects up with the Ramapo just east of Route 17 in Sloatsburg. And it's one of those streams that saves the Ramapo, like Patsy said. The water in the Stony Brook, because the entire surrounding area has been undeveloped for 100 years or so. There were little towns near there. There's a tiny little hamlet of houses at the very southern end, but they're pretty far apart and it's buffered nicely by trees. So the water that comes down is Class 8 trout stream. It's beautiful and clean.
Wow.
It's a very nice spot.
Used to all these things, way up here, 5.5, 6 feet up. We're just forgetting how our life is. This is a teaching tool that we use to get children and now all of us to work with the concept of water. It's exciting when the trickles start. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I just love this stuff. There's your trees and grass. Get a little bit of a heavier rainstorm on the earth that's rooted. Look at the water flowing out of it. And exposed.
Without trees.
How quickly we're into that situation. That's a really good case for trees and no trees. And find more opportunities to be with water. To really be with the water and not just be talking about the water. I think we'll see differences. Very subtle changes. It's not a big difference in the answers. We don't have the answers, but we can find different ways of getting to the answers. As our closing summary, it's the with word. It's the with word.
The thing itself.
So from time to time, take a moment to look around and see if you can figure out where the water is and where it's coming from and where it's going to, and play the game we do of water flowing by, and use your imagination and enter into this world that includes all of this fantastic movement.